We're now ready to listen to Mr. Francois Perron. He's owner and president of BioService Montréal. He's worked for 20 years of success in neutralizing odors at wastewater treatment plants, composting facilities, transfer station, landfills, and other odor-generating facilities. In February 2014, a U.S. patent was filed for his invention as a system and method for controlling and treating gas emanation inside a wastewater access shaft, also known as the OdoTrap. And I think Mr. Perron is going to talk a bit more about it. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Elisabeth. Thank you for being here. BioService, we have solution for foul odor, almost any kind. And we are challenged by some of our customers to solve situation that sometimes there wasn't any solution. And one of them, not too long ago, coming from foul odor coming from catch basin, nobody had solution for that, and we were asked to do something. So we did some research, some investigation. We did some brainstorming with a lot of people, people from Montreal, and we arrived with something that we created. We call it OdoTrap, for obvious reason, and we're going to trap foul odor coming from catch basin. You're going to see that that invention is so simple. We just had to think about it, and plus having that round table, having the brainstorming that we've done with many people, we have been able to incorporate a lot of things with the OdoTrap. So it's not only an OdoTrap that will trap the foul odor coming from the catch basin, but it's going to be much more. And I'm going to present that to you. What it is, it's a system and method for controlling and treating gas emanation and foul odor from catch basin. There's a lot of information that a lot of slides also that I'm going to pass by a little fast, because I'm going to have some visual later on and also some animation, so it's going to be much easier to understand and more interesting than reading all that jazz. This system is known as OdoTrap. It is a multifunction street trap for municipal combined system, and it's a patented invention. In many slides, many paper that we have, when we wrote the patent, we had to explain a lot of things for the reader, and this is one of them. A catch basin will have foul odor if they are on a combined system. All municipality will have that combined system. What it means? It's during wet weather, when it's raining, you're going to have water that's going to go into the system and to the sewage treatment plant. When it's dry weather, we don't have the rainwater, but we only have the sewage from houses. So during the summertime, when it's get very warm, well, the odor, obviously, we can get a lot of odor. It would be a lot of fun I would appreciate if I could have a OdoTrap in every catch basin that exists, but that might be a little too much. But there's some place where it's really needed, and we're going to see that in the near future. This is the pattern. The definition, we have manhole, we have street gutter, access shaft, catch basin. You can see, okay, this is access shaft, manhole, same thing here, access shaft, gutter, and we have the catch basin. This is what we're going to treat, the catch basin. The background, again, when we wrote the patent, we had to put a lot of information, and this is why we have foul odor and all that jazz. We had to include a picture of what it should have been. We should have had in the system like one for the sewage and also one for the storm water. We were supposed to have two separate, and then there wouldn't be any problem, but this is not what like I said, all municipality doesn't have that. Again, this is a picture of what the people were doing in the time to try to get rid of foul odor and minimize the situation as much as they can. So that meant like manually clean the piping. And this is another. We have to make some research to find out if there's something like this, or if we patent something, if there's something similar or what. And this is the closest we had. But we haven't figured out the way how it worked, because it's supposed to neutralize odor, but we don't see the point that what they were doing with that patent, what they wanted to do. Okay, like I was saying, I wish all catch basin would have my equipment, but it's going to be impossible, I think. But there's some of them that absolutely need it, and this is one case. I don't know if you can see it properly, but this is a restaurant, and we are having a couple having a dinner, and right over it, and that day there wasn't any foul odor, but sometime, even if it's obviously when it's summer, they have to close the window because foul odor is coming into the restaurant, and there's nothing they can do. One situation that may sound funny, but I said, did you ever complain to the municipality? That never happened. Nobody complained about this situation because nobody thinks that there is a solution, but now there is one. So I encourage people to complain if you smell a catch basin that with foul odor. Other situation, if you go for a pizza and before getting into the restaurant, you get a sniff from the catch basin. That is not a good situation. So this is the OdoTrap. The way it works, from the street level, you can install it. You don't need special equipment to go into the drain, the closed environment. You don't need anything. One person can take care of it, and just, you have to lay down on the street and install the equipment. The only thing that's tough to install is under the spacer, there is a permanent belt. When that permanent belt is there, you don't have to take it out, and it's over forever. You put the spacer will fall into place, okay? Same thing with the reservoir, and same thing with what we call the OdoTrap. It's all, I'm gonna show you a video later on to see how easy it is to install, and it's really falling into place. This is how it looked. The only thing that you have to do is be careful, and the arrow have to point to the sidewalk. When the water is going to go into the OdoTrap, it's going to make the cover to balance, to be able to let the water go into the system. And when it's going to be completely open, the water, I don't know if for you, it's easy to see there's a hole. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, the water will go in the reservoir, and then after that go into that hole. The hole is, like you can see, is small, and this is one of the other things we can do with the OdoTrap. Sometime with new development, we're going to have a street with, let's say, 20 catch basin, and in the street you have a 24-inch pipe that will bring the water, and everything goes well. But sometime with the development, the street will get longer, and with maybe 100 catch basin, and then the 24-inch pipe is not good enough, it's not big enough. But they're stuck with this situation. So what's happening when there's heavy rainfall is too much water is going into the system, the network, and then there's pressure being created, and you get the water to go into the house basement. Okay, so we can solve that situation. When we ship an OdoTrap, it's coming without hole, and we make a special calculation to how much let's say the 24-inch pipe can absorb in water, and then we're gonna make the hole accordingly with what the capacity of the system network. So this is one of the extra advantage that we have with the OdoTrap. And also, when the cover is closed, you have a filter right here. It's important that we are not going to block the catch basin because there's gas that have to go out. If we block it, there might be a situation where it could explode. It could be dangerous. So we had to make sure that gas was able to get out of the system, even if, well, not even if, but in the same time, we had to neutralize the foul odor. So the foul odor will be neutralized by going through that filter, and it will have to when the cover will be completely closed. Okay. This is the explode version of the OdoTrap. There's I was talking about the permanent belt. This is the spacer. This is the tank, and this is a filter. And all the top part is explode, but it's too much information. You have the reservoir, and you have the filter that will be stuck into that area. And when the people buy it, it's all together. It's not a problem to build. So this is it. I said there is a filter. The filter, we install it into the tank right over the hole. So what it will do, another advantage of the OdoTrap, is we will be able to catch urban waste. So all the cigarette butt, Mr. Freeze bag, a popsicle stick, whatever, we can catch it. So it's not going to go into the system. This is an example of what we do after a month. Let's say we've been catching leaf and all that, whatever that's in the street. Some people may ask, is it solid enough? Well, it can hold a person without any problem. And again, you can see it's at street level, so it's easy to install and easy to manage and to maintenance. Yes. This is an animation. We're going to see the way it worked, the way we install it, but it's, like I said, an animation. But it's just to make it simple to understand. We have the foul odor coming out of the catch basin. Permanent belt. And then when the foul odor, when the gas air go through, the odor is neutralized. It's as simple as that. Okay. The maintenance that we have to do is once a month, once every 2 months, depending on the severity of the problem. We will pass by, take the cover off, and just refill the cylinder with the neutralizer. Again, this is what I explained earlier about the heavy rain, what it does. So when that is being filled, that creates a lot of pressure, pushing the water into the house, the basement. And when we install the OdoTrap, so because the hole is smaller than the 8-inch at the bottom, we empty, that gets empty. So we don't fill that, we don't build the head pressure, and we're gonna leave water on the street. But the water we leave on the street, it's only what was supposed to be in the catch basin. Because at the end, the system wasn't able to absorb the water anyway. So it was to stay on the street. Actually, say what was in the catch basin, it's in the street, and also what was supposed to be in the basement. That is not anymore. Okay, the other thing, like I said, with the urban waste, same equipment, same simple equipment, but it does all of those work. There's another thing, another benefit of having the OdoTrap is for the Nile virus. 95% of the mosquito that will carry the Nile virus will lay their egg into the bottom of the catch basin. Okay? In using this equipment, we don't have to, there's bacteria that we can put into the catch basin, but now we don't need it anymore because the mosquito cannot go at the bottom of the catch basin. So that's a benefit. We haven't, it just happened like that. It's just because we have the OdoTrap, the mosquito cannot pass, and that's it, that's all. So that was a small animation. Okay. The OdoTrap has three functions. It intercepts bad odor that come from the system. It prevents urban waste from getting into the sewer network. And it also manages the large water surge from heavy rainstorm. Two benefits: control the West Nile virus by preventing mosquito from laying their egg into the bottom of the system. And it also prevents germ from coming out of the sewer. Toronto had an incident years ago with the SARS, the severe acute respiratory syndrome. With that equipment, that the germ cannot come from the catch basin. So it's a benefit to have the OdoTrap in a catch basin. Another interesting point, OdoTrap is adaptable and can be installed in 3 minutes. That's not going to be too long. But it's just to show you how easy it is to install. That's real life. This is the permanent belt that we have to install. This is what takes most of the time for an installation of the OdoTrap. When that's done, after that we slip all the part into place. This is the filter. And then the top cover of the OdoTrap. There's 2 grooves on the side of the tank and 2 pins coming out of the cover, and that's it. As soon as the 2 pins are in the groove, it's installed automatically. The secret, well, actually, when I mentioned earlier that it was simple, this is it. This is it. Only the top that can flip. And oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I'm sorry. Okay, the top part that can flip, let the water go into the system, and then the air, when there's no water, well, the air can go out of and we are able to neutralize it. The other one is obviously the product that we put into the cylinder. All of our products are microorganism, essential oil. When we make a product, we develop product into the lab. And when we have something, we always go outside with an outside lab to make sure that we have something that's decent. Actually, it's me or my son that does the product, so I want to make sure that nothing happened to us. And the last chemist that we used mentioned that all the product that we have in the formulation, they are all on the list of approved to make cosmetic. So it's very safe product, like we can have some on our skin without any problem. It never have been tested on animals, only on me. And this is a picture like a sewer outflow before. This is, if it doesn't go into a basement, this is what can happen. And this is the reaction of the OdoTrap when there's a lot of water going into the system. The product, the equipment have been tested often. We had report, this is a public action, report in the public action mentioning how good the equipment was working. Also, lately, Montreal is using the equipment more and more. And obviously, if you are familiar, you know what I'm talking about when there's catch basins that are very odorous, and sometime around industry, it's very bad. So there's people from the newspaper that cut the information and spread it on, that was on the internet. They also make this is more original paper where they were mentioning what we were doing. And also, we're very proud to say that we did the first page of a daily newspaper in Montreal like 4 weeks ago. And they were saying that, well, the title was the Odor Hunt. They were hunting foul odor. And this place is a garbage transfer station. And the reporter that visited the place with us was amazed to see that there wasn't any odor at all. So you should, some maybe of you ask the questions, why am I putting the information like I did the first page of a daily paper in Montreal? Well, it's because that corner here, they talk about the OdoTrap. And that's, they call it a pilot project. And then they were mentioning that we were testing the OdoTrap into Montreal. Obviously, OdoTrap is available from my company, which is BioService. Again, so we have the OdoTrap, and also some of you may ask, well, if we have foul odor coming from the catch basin, there might be some odor coming from the manhole in the middle of the street. So that we had something since a long time, and this we call it an auto filter. But that was easy to make. There wasn't any too much problem to go around. So this is done since a long time, and we have a new version, which is more. It's one piece only, super pH DH. I think they call it. It's under a norm, German norm, 40-year. Against UV light and whatever, but it's to say it's high quality. And when we have in that auto filter, oh, I'm sorry again. Oh, that's bad. Okay, what you the red bag that we have, that you have seen, is wood chip that soak into the microorganism, into the bacteria. So when the foul odor were going through the small hole that you have seen, it was also going through that wood chip. So the bacteria was acting like a biofilter. And that we have that equipment since a long time. And we suggest the customer to change the bag every month, roughly. And sometimes they pass the summer without doing anything. It's just at budget time, and in autumn they say, oh yeah, we have to buy that stuff. And so it's very efficient. That's what I'm trying to say. So I passed the slide that where it was written, if you have any question. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. We have just time for 1 or 2 questions. Please.
I have 2 questions, actually. The first one, so you mentioned it removes the larger items, the larger debris, the larger trash. How does it react? So oil grit separators are a big thing here in this area. We install a lot of them in sewers. And similar to your system, they sit right on top and they separate oil and grit as well as the larger items. Is your system able to separate that oil and grit
No, not the oil. I cannot separate the oil. But the grit, what can be done is we have a customer that asked it to us, and what we have done is we hung a pocket that when the water goes into it, it will intercept the grit. So there's going to be a maintenance, and it's going to become heavy. But for some area where there was construction, is instead of having the truck with to pump the bottom of the catch basin, well, they were able to maintenance it like every day or every week or whatever. But the problem was. But yes, we can have something for.
The second part of my question, so as an inlet restrictor on a sewer, i.e. your flows become restricted and your safe basins.
Yeah.
FEMA did that in Chicago. There was a class action lawsuit and they lost because they installed inlet restrictors on all their sewers.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the results from that lawsuit to kind of see, obviously they did it everywhere. That's different than doing it to a few industries that are concerned.
Exactly. And we have to advise the customer of what can happen and what's going to happen. He's going to take the final decision of what we're going to put in it. But the thing is, the problem is there. The water cannot go through anyway. So, you might like I said, you're going to leave some water onto the street, but it's going to be minimal. It's what's not going to be in the catch basin, and that's it, that's all. So you're going to solve more problem than create problem.